Hey everybody, welcome to Fish on Adventures. Today we got a Q&A. We're going to answer a few questions that I get frequently asked, so let's get right to it. Okay, today on our first question, they ask, is it really worth owning or buying a travel trailer or motorhome? Well, that's a good question. That depends on how much you're going to use the motorhome or the travel trailer. If it's something that you plan to use once or twice a year, like on vacations and stuff like that, it probably wouldn't be a good investment for you. But if you're going to use it once a month, or you make several trips to different locations and stuff, and you know you're going to use it, it could be a really good investment. With the cost of staying in motels and resorts and that type of stuff, if you're going to be there for a week, yes, it would save you a lot of money in the aspects of being on vacation. You're not paying those high hotel bills or resort bills when a state park costs normally about $15 to $20 a day, and you can get discounts on that. They have senior citizen discounts and military discounts. Now, choosing a motorhome, whether you need a motorhome or a travel trailer, for us, a motorhome fit our needs. We travel a lot. We always pull in a boat or a trailer or something to that effect. And typically, we pull our Jeep JK with us when we're doing our surf fishing trip so we can use it on the beach. Now, if you have a good truck, if you have a half-ton, three-quarter-ton truck, a travel trailer, a high-low, pop-ups, those trailers like that would fit your needs really well. The travel trailer is a little more versatile in some ways if you're not towing a boat. When you get to your RV site, you can set it up, you're disconnected, and you still have the truck for that freedom to go into town or do some other things that you need. Whereas a motorhome, if you're pulling a boat and you're launching and you're setting up the RV, once it's set up, you're pretty much there. You need to be close to the water. You need to be close to the marina or wherever you're parking your boat if you don't have a secondary vehicle that you're bringing with you. So those are all the considerations you need to think of when you're trying to figure out, what do I need, a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or a motorhome? But for us, the motorhome fit the need. We do tow a vehicle at several locations. Like I said, we do the Jeep on the surf fishing adventures. However, there are times that we take two vehicles. We'll take the motorhome and we'll have a vehicle on site to launch the boat or bring the boat back. It could be a bad location, or we need to travel, or we're far away from our destination. So is it worth buying a travel trailer or a motorhome? I would say absolutely yes. If you've been a tent camper for a while and you're really getting tired of it, you know, you're in that tent, storms blow in, or it's hot outside or it's cold outside, you don't get that in those motorhomes. You know, you have the creature comforts of home. You got air conditioning, heating, you have water, you have your showers, bathrooms, you have everything that you need in a motorhome or a travel trailer. And if you're boondocking, this is where they really come in great. If you're boondocking in a tent, you have no facilities and no access to water, so you have to bring everything in, and after 2 or 3 days, you're ready to go to the house. With a motorhome or a travel trailer, you have a built-in generator, you have hot water, you got all the amenities, you got a built-in tank for your water supply. The only thing that you have to do is be cautious and not use them up too quickly so you can make it through and go to a dump station. But as far as motorhomes or travel trailers concerned, when we stopped tent camping and we purchased our motorhome, for me, it was the best thing I ever did. And I really, really enjoy my motorhome, and I enjoy traveling in it. I have no issues pulling my boat with it. I have no issues taking it anywhere we've gone. Really enjoy it. The next question, can you launch your boat with a motorhome, and how can you see to back up with little or no help? And that's a good question, and I have an answer for that one. Yes, you can back your boat in with a motorhome. I would advise, though, you look at your location before you start backing in. Make sure you have plenty of room, there's no obstructions, and that the boat ramp is not too steep or too long, and especially not slimed out. You don't want to start sliding and head into the lake, and that's a bad day. But yes, I launch my boat all the time with my motorhome, and I've never had any issues. And I do this with my wife. We put a tether line on it. I don't have a boat that has the self-launching trolling motor and I can take a remote control and bring it back to me. Wish I did, but I don't. But we put a tether line on it, and she stands on the pier, and as I come down the boat ramp, when the boat floats, it takes off and she pulls it in. Having a second person there to launch your boat is a great thing. They can tell you if you're running into trouble or they can wave at you, yell at you to stop. But one of the things I did is on most motorhomes, they come with a reverse backup camera. But those cameras are on your radio and your stereo system, and they're not that good. You don't have a very big picture. If you notice, I'm using reading glasses, so I'm staring at this little tiny screen trying to figure out where I'm at. What I did is I purchased a rear view camera system where it stays on all the time. It has a 10-inch screen. It sits up on the dash. I mounted the camera on the back of my RV on the ladder. And what I do is when I see it, I have a full color picture of myself backing the boat, and I can see everything behind me. It's a great system. And you can also use it on your travel trailer or your fifth wheel or even a cargo trailer. I know these fifth wheels are very difficult to see beside you and behind you what's coming. If you mount that camera on the back of that fifth wheel, it's wireless, so you have a good view of what's going on behind the trailer. If you need to change lanes, you can put it on that ladder on the right-hand side, and it gives you that view of the traffic that's very difficult to see when you're making it right-hand lane change. But the rear view camera system was my savior for backing my boat that I could not see until it was too late when the boat started to turn and almost get to a jackknife and say, oh, there it is. That camera made it unbelievably easy for me to launch my boat and get it into the water and get it out of the water. So yes, you can launch a boat with a motorhome, and the way to do it is to put a rear view camera system on that stays on continuously. You can use it in all your trips. You can use it for heavy traffic. It is a great thing to have. It set my mounts on the dash, as I said, and I absolutely enjoy having it. Are state and federal park passes worth buying? Now that's a good question, because I own two different types of passes, and I'll tell you what I have. Texas Parks and Wildlife, they offer an annual pass that costs $70 a year, and it expires on the date that the card is issued. The card gives you discounts on senior city. You get senior citizen discounts, you get military discounts. The card gives you discounts on purchases that you make on your camping. You get percentages off, so it saves you a lot of money. You get unlimited entry on every park in the state of Texas where I live, and the other states offer the same thing. So our state park pass is worth it? Yes. There's America the Beautiful Park Pass. It costs $80 a year, and this pass will give you access to over 2,000 recreational sites. It covers all the entry to national parks. It does give you, they do offer senior citizen and they do offer military discounts. So if you're going to travel outside your state and you want to go to a national park or you want to stay in one of the federal parks, this path is definitely worth having if you're going to do a lot of traveling out. It will definitely be a benefit. If you don't have one, highly recommend it. Go get you one. The next question is, are two-man boats safe and stable, and should I buy an outboard motor, or is the trolling motor good enough? Well, I fish two-man boats. We fish kayaks, we fish canoes and big bass boats, and we take boats out on the Gulf. But yeah, two-man boats, they're extremely stable. I have had two-man bass boats since they came out in the early 80s. One of the first ones I had was a Bass Hunter. It was just a small 8-foot boat. But the boats they have today are really no different. They've built them up a little bit. They made them a little more comfortable. They're 10 foot 2 inches now. But I would say I literally have tried to tip my boat over and could not make it happen. We stood on the side, we pulled on it, we did everything to make the boat tip or flip. And one thing about the two-man bass boat is on that hook set. You get that good hard hook set like you're in a canoe, you'll catch yourself. Whereas it has a stable feel. It's just as stable as my big bass boat. I never feel like anything bad is going to happen in that boat. So safety, yes. It's a slow boat. It's not going to go fast. Even with an outboard on it, you're not going to break any speed records. My outboard that I did a demo on was a 3.5 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke. When we demoed the motor on the boat, I took my GPS, made several runs with it, and we averaged speeds of 10 miles an hour. So you're not going to break any speed records, and you're not going to do anything that would make you feel uncomfortable while using the boat. Now, should you get an outboard or just stick with a trolling motor? Well, that depends. If you're going to fish some bigger reservoirs or you're fishing rivers and stuff that has some current to it, you might want to think about getting an outboard. It's going to save your battery on your trolling motor. It's going to get you further up the river. It's going to get you further up the reservoir and take you to places that you wouldn't normally get to. You're not going to get there fast, but you're going to get there. In addition to if you're up in an area and you were to hit a stump with your trolling motor and you broke your prop or you broke a shear pin, and now what do? You got to paddle back. Well, now you got this outboard on the back that's going to get you back, and it's a secondary redundancy that I find that I use all the time. But the biggest deal would be that battery life. When you're fishing and you're heading up the lake and you're not paying attention to how much distance you're traveling. Well, you look back and you don't, whoa, you realize just how far you've gone, and your battery's starting to get weak, and now you got to head home and it's starting to get dark. Well, you start trolling back, the battery's dead, and now you spend the rest of the way paddling. Not a good day. So, is an outboard important? It is for me, because we fish bigger reservoirs, we go up rivers, and we take longer trips in them. But the trolling motor is just fine. If you're going to fish small lakes, if you're fishing ponds, you're not going to go out into the big reservoir, or you're camping in a certain area and you don't want to go beyond that point. You want to stay in the area where you're at. Then you don't need an outboard. The trolling motor would do you just fine. These 29 series big cycle batteries will last pretty much all day. And if you want to spend the money and get Optima, you can probably get 2 days of trolling on this trolling motor. But the outboard does get you there a little bit quicker. It's probably twice as fast as a trolling motor. It is a redundancy. If something was to happen, you do have a way to get back. They're not that expensive, but if you have the money and if you're looking into buying a new boat and you're saying, well, what kind of gear should I put on the boat? What I would highly recommend is go ahead and gear it out now. Do it while you're doing it. Get your trolling motor, get a good battery. Go ahead and buy that outboard that's rated for the boat that you're purchasing. And I promise you, you will not regret it. My little 2-man boat, I've had many of them over the years, and I have enjoyed every one of them. The only reason I've replaced them is because I wore them out, and it was time to get a new one. So our 2-man boat's safe and stable? Absolutely. Should you buy an outboard? I recommend it, and I promise you, if you're a 2-man bass boat fisherman, you're going to have some good times. They're great boats. I was asked about my bait launcher. A person asked me, love your bait launcher. Where did you buy it? Well, my bait launcher is what we use when we're surf fishing. It's a compressed air cannon. I didn't buy it, I built it. There are a lot of websites that you can look at and YouTube videos that you can look at on different people who have put bait launchers together. You can take a look at mine. Don't have the plans came out of my head. You can buy bait launchers pre-built. They are expensive, but they work fantastic. If you're tired of wading 50 yards out into the Gulf or wherever you're maybe fishing in the salt water, making your cast, coming back, setting your pole up, turning around and repeating it all day long, it's going to wear you out. So my bait launcher is a really cool deal. It is featured in my next video where we're going to be doing a surf fishing project, and it'll be on the second part of my gear and how-to, and we'll talk about more of how to use the bait launcher. But I will say this, if you're interested in building a bait launcher, please use quality parts. Do not use lightweight PVC parts that are sewer pipe or anything like that. Make sure it's Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 rated. Make sure you use the proper glue. You're pressurizing this cannon to 100 PSI. So make sure you're using high quality stuff when you do it. Take your time and build it correctly. But the compressed air ones are extremely popular. I use one. It makes my day way better. I don't have to wait out, come back and forth, especially where we fish. We're catching dozens and dozens of fish per day. You're making multiple casts per day. So at the end of the day, you're absolutely wore out. Because walking in and out of them waves and tracking in and out of the ocean and sitting down, getting up and doing this is tiring. The bait launcher, for me, is a great thing. My grandkids love it. My kids love to use it. It draws interest. You'll have lots of people come visit you, asking you about it, say, what is that? I'm interested. You'll even have the park rangers come up, or maybe even a game warden come up and want to see you use it and want to talk about it. So it's a great conversational piece, and it's a lot of fun. It's just one more element to surf fishing, just to have a better day. So my bait launcher, I built it. I wish I had the plans to give it to you, but I don't. So take a close look at it. Look at some of the YouTube videos on people who built them. Come up with your own design. It never hurts to expand and do what you want to do. They're simple to build, low cost, around $300 to get it all in. But if you want to buy one that's pre-made, yes, you can buy them. They are available, but they are pricey. Well, that about covers the Q&A questions for today. I really appreciate the comments, so keep them coming. For those of you who are new to my channel, I rebranded the name and we're now Fish On Adventures. We have new videos coming out soon, so take a look. And if you like what you see, tell your friends. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon, and until then, hope to see you on the water. God bless and fish on.